Yo, today is November 16th, 2022. Welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live. We are your number one source for this peaceful Bitcoin revolution with clear breaking news, culture, and memetic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Ladies and gentlemen, the shitcoin exchanges are burning to the ground. This is victory. This is vindication for all the Bitcoiners that have been telling you, just stay humble, stack sats. They're all going down in flames. It's glorious to see. But man, look, shout out to Saylor, shout out to Corey Clipston, shout out to, of course, Francis. You know, all the exchange CEOs of Bitcoin only exchanges, because they've been telling you for a while that this was inevitable. You deal with shit coins, you get shit results, and that's exactly what is happening. It looks like FTX went down. That led to Genesis, and then Genesis was involved with Gemini, and it looks like Gemini's loan program, they halted withdrawals altogether. Now, what's really interesting too, though, is that currently Gemini exchange is down. You cannot access them. So a lot of coincidences. That's what I got to say. But anyways, we're going to get to all that. We're also going to talk about ConocoPhillips, Shell, ExxonMobil, the Gazprom. They all announced in the last 6 months that they're dipping their toes in the Bitcoin mining industry. Those are all Fortune 500 companies. Bitcoin mining isn't going anywhere. And at the end of the day, what this FTX collapse is, it is very, very good news for Bitcoin. We're going to get to all that during the news, but first, I want to introduce my legendary co-host, the one, the only, always optimistic. How you doing, Opti?
Well, I am doing well. You know, I'm in safe cold storage right now, just watching all the fireworks, so everything's fine on my end. But wow, what amazing things going on in the world right now, in the Bitcoin space right now. It's getting crazy out there, guys. I hope you guys had stayed humble and stacked sats and put your Bitcoin into cold storage, because things are getting absolutely crazy out there. And yeah, man, as long as you have been heeding our words for a while, you're good right now. You know, you don't have Bitcoin on exchanges. You're just chilling. Yes, the price is taking a little hit.
That is a good thing, my friend. Cheaper sats for the rest of us.
But hey, we are all bull-tarded, and we want to see it go to the moon, Nico.
This is true.
But anyways, on today's culture, we got a comment yesterday telling us not to say shitcoin, and we're obviously not going to not say shitcoin. So we're just going to cover some of the comments from our friends on what we should be doing on this occasion. So it's going to be a lighthearted, fun culture today, considering so much crazy stuff going on. But I'm very interested to hear the news segments today, because it is full of so much spicy material.
Are you pumped, bro? I'm so freaking pumped for today's show. Vindication, baby. Vindication.
Let's go.
All right, guys, let's get to the numbers.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. Man, at this point, guys, stop trusting other people. And that includes trusting someone else's Bitcoin node. Run your own Bitcoin. Learn how to do it. If you don't want to learn how to do it, if you don't want to build your own, which you totally can with the Raspberry Pi, there's awesome Bitcoin companies that you could buy a pre-made node. NODL is one of our favorite, obviously, because they're one of our sponsors. So definitely go check them out. Stop trusting other people's nodes. If you don't run your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. And all of this is happening right now because people are trusting other people. In the case of all these rug pulls and bank runs, people are trusting other people with the custody of their money. Anyways, at the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 16,496 sats per dollar. We're at 6,062. Block height, 763,000. 451. Reachable Bitcoin nodes, 14,347. Blocks that are happening, 76,549. Halving estimate, April 22nd, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity, 5,999 Bitcoin, which is an estimated 84 million US dollars. We want that number to continue going up. Realized monetary inflation. Bitcoin continues to take fiat currencies to absolute school, 1.77%. And market capitalization, that might go a little bit lower, give you guys an opportunity to stack some cheap sats, which you guys are going to be super, super happy you did a couple years from now. Anyways, I have a clip from Michael Saylor. He went on Fox Business, and let's check out what he has to say. Very interesting, and then we'll talk about it.
Satoshi had just a beautiful vision, a beautiful dream, and that was, what if we didn't have to trust the banks, whether it's a conventional bank or a crypto bank, and what if we didn't have to save our life savings in a fiat currency that's collapsing in value? And so, I mean, Bitcoin is the world's most powerful computing network. It's got 270 exahash of computing power, and it's got 10 gigawatts of energy backing it. It means you don't have to trust the FTXs of the world. So, yeah, I am a big believer, because I believe that although crypto in this case may have been the problem, Bitcoin is still the solution. And Sam may have made 1 million Bitcoin maximalists with this crash.
In the meantime, you are calling for registered digital assets to be traded on regulated digital exchanges. I got only a minute to go. Would that remove some of the anonymity that people say is an attractive part of this whole thing?
I think for the industry to move forward, the regulators in the U.S. need to give people the ability to register their digital currency, their digital token, their digital security, and their digital commodity, so that they trade on digital exchanges. And right now, the massive confusion is nobody knows the difference between a security and a commodity. And in America, we can't trade on digital exchanges with all these things. So we're really waiting for the regulators to give us a roadmap that allows us to move forward.
Michael, you're one of my favorites in this whole thing, because you put your money where your mouth is. You articulate.
Okay. A lot to unpack there. But in the very beginning, that was the sauce. Sam Bankman-Fried. I still don't know how to pronounce that last part. Created 1 million Bitcoin maximalists, and that second part, right? We don't have to trust banks anymore. We don't have to trust, to use his words, crypto banks anymore. So what I'm going to tell you guys is let them all burn, so that more Bitcoin maxis get born. And unfortunately, sometimes people have to feel the pain in order for the phoenix to rise out of the ashes. The phoenix has to burn. The phoenix has to die, has to burn down. Then out of the ashes comes a new phoenix. And unfortunately, some people have to get hurt in the process. But that's the signal right there, is that because of this hardship, because of this collapse, because of this stuff burning down, you have 1 million new Bitcoin maxis being created that they know that they can't trust shitcoins. They know that they can't trust their Bitcoin on a custodial exchange. And hopefully that pain is going to force some of them to learn how to take Bitcoin into self-custody. All of this could have been avoided if people just took the personal responsibility and learned how to take self-custody of their Bitcoin. And it's not only Michael Saylor making the rounds on the legacy mainstream media. We had, of course, Natalie Burnell, and we had Dylan LeClaire that were saying the same message. Bitcoin, not crypto. Crypto is fiat times 100, times 1,000. And it's not a coincidence that you're seeing the same things that have happened in the legacy financial system happen in crypto. And it all stems from one very simple and basic problem. People are putting a tremendous amount of trust on someone else to hold their money. And now they're paying the consequence for that decision once again. But hopefully enough people wake up to the fact that it's not yours unless you're the one that owns the keys. And hopefully if enough people wake up, we break this cycle that humanity has been stuck in for the last 100 years. Anyways, We're going to get into the details of FTX, Gemini, and Genesis during the news segment, but I thought you guys would appreciate that clip from Saylor because I think he says it best. This pain has created 100 newly minted Bitcoin maxis, baby. Opti, what are your thoughts, bro?
Well, I mean, we started today's show with don't trust, verify, run your own nodes. You know, we're sponsored by NODL, so definitely if you guys want a standalone node, then by all means do that. But you could also just download Bitcoin Core. And the reason we're saying this, guys, is because it's what Saylor's saying, man. Like, I love this message that he's saying. And not only the message that he said on that, but the fact it's on mainstream TV. You know, I don't know how many viewers Fox has or what have you, but the fact it's on TV, the fact that message is getting out there to people outside of our echo chamber, that is Bitcoin Twitter or you know, YouTube Bitcoin. People need to know that, like, this is why we tell you guys every single day to take Bitcoin into self-custody. I know people will say that taking Bitcoin into self-custody is hard, or that there's, you know, a mental gap that you have to come through. But, like, in my opinion, taking self-custody is very easy. It's no harder than you know, using an email. But as you guys can see today, we are seeing bank runs on the exchanges right now, and people are spooked and they're realizing that they need to hold their own Bitcoin. But to that point, I don't think we can be naive and say that, you know, everyone will hold their own keys eventually. There will always be people that want to keep Bitcoin on trusted exchanges. And so
No, but hold on a second. But this is where family comes in.
I
right?
agree.
This is where family comes in.
I agree with you, Nico. But we got to understand that some people will want trusted third parties, and we can only hope that what Saylor is saying, you know, having more regulatory clarity will be able to bring the infrastructure so that people can do that if they so want to. But again, I agree with you, man. Like, I am the Uncle Jim to my family. I ensure that they hold their own keys, because this is why Bitcoin was created in the first place, to minimize the trust on these trusted third parties, so that we can opt out of this madness, so that we can eliminate the money printer from continuing to debase our currency. And the only way you can do that is by taking Bitcoin into cold storage, into keys that you own, you know, having those 12 to 24 words in a Bitcoin wallet that you own. This is how we further the revolution, guys. So we are seeing this in real time, that people are taking their Bitcoin off exchanges, and it's just beautiful to see. You know, it's a bear market thing. This has been a pretty bloody bear market so far, and who knows where the bottom's going to be. But at least there is a silver lining, like you're saying, Nico, that more people are waking up to the idea that they can't leave their Bitcoin on exchanges, and they have to figure out self-custody. So, you know, people are putting their hand on the stove, and the silver lining is more people are holding their Bitcoin in cold storage, or at least self-custody.
Amen to that. So, and another thing also, Opti, is this idea of the Uncle Jim. Guys, look, my mom has been hodling Bitcoin as long as I've got in the game, 2016, okay? My girlfriend as well, my not to get into more details, but other family members as well, and I'm Uncle Jimming them, man. I created, you know, a 24-word seed phrase for them. I put that stuff in metal. I put it in their safe. I put it in someplace safe, and then they have, you know, it's in their custody. But I know for a fact that if one day they're like, Nico, how do we spend this? How do you use this? Right? You know, they're gonna have to come to me. They don't know how to fully you know, fully interact with that stuff. It's unfortunate because they spent so much time in the fiat matrix, you know, and I write down this, you know, in case something happens to me, and in case I get into an accident, a tragic accident or something, you know, I write down a detailed explanation of what it is, how you access your Bitcoin. But unfortunately, not everyone has the technical know-how to feel comfortable taking self-custody. So what they do is that they outsource that responsibility to other people. But this is where family comes in, man. This is what family is all about, right? It's better doing that than trusting a third-party exchange when it's just a bunch of strangers and you have to take their fucking word for it. And that's exactly what happened with FTX. So if you are the one in your family that understands Bitcoin, takes Bitcoin into self-custody, it's on to you as an individual to take that responsibility and protect your family's members' Bitcoin, because they probably don't feel comfortable enough with themselves to do that. And there's so many tools to do that. I know that the Cold Card has this feature where you can create, I'm going to butcher the technical details, but you can create basically a parent seed, and out of that parent seed, you create an account number, and via that account number, it creates other seeds. So in case your family member loses their seeds, it becomes a lot easier to recover, right? Be that Uncle Jim with your family, right? Be that person, because maybe they don't have the technical level on an individual level to do it themselves. And are you really going to allow them to leave all of that money on one of these exchanges? That's terrible. That's terrible. Fuck that. Take the personal responsibility. Try to teach as many people as possible to take self-custody. But if they don't have the technical capability, perhaps like your parents or your grandparents, perhaps it falls onto you to do just that, right? But you got to do it right. There's always trade-offs between this and this and that, between this and that. Anyways, all right, guys, let's get to the news. Let's get into the details of all of these collapses. Let's do it.
The Daily News.
Brought to you by Bitbox 2 Bitcoin Only Edition, a hardware wallet by Shift Crypto. Crypto like cryptography. It's secure, it's open source, and it's so easy your mom can set it up. Self-custody is the revolution, and the Bitbox makes it simple. Do not leave your Bitcoin on an exchange. Order a Bitbox today.
You hear that? Self-custody is the revolution. Anyways,
dude, we've been calling it for a while. Do not leave your Bitcoin on an exchange.
We are so fucking vindicated, man. We've been screaming off the rooftop. Remember that clip from Alex Mashinsky? He's like, the Bitcoin maxis are telling people to take self-custody of their Bitcoin. Shame on you, bro. You wrecked and you stole from people. Stop trusting other people with your money. Stop outsourcing that responsibility. Anyways, the contagion intensifies. Cue the air horns. Shitcoin exchange apocalypse. It's here. It's here. It's here. Anyways, let's check out the article, everybody. The crypto contagion intensifies. Who else is swimming naked? It's an article by Dylan LeClaire and Sam Rule. Let's check it out. We're currently in the middle of an industry contagion and market panic taking shape. Although FTX and Alameda have fallen, many more players across funds, market makers, exchanges, miners, and other businesses will follow suit. This is a similar playbook to what we've seen before in the previous crash sparked by Luna, except that this one will be more impactful to the market. This is the proper cleansing and washout from misallocation of capital, speculation, and excessive leverage that come with the global economic liquidity tide going back out. And I completely agree. Nature is healing. Flush out all of this shitcoin. Let these shitcoin exchanges burn to the ground. Dude, I actually heard this. It was Mr. Hodl who said it in the spaces. We would have hit 200K Bitcoin if these last cycle, if these shitcoins weren't distracting everybody from what is the truth. What is the only cryptocurrency that could separate money from state because of its true decentralization, which is Bitcoin. And all these shitcoins and all these exchanges that have to justify their existence because they know they're selling you shit has to burn to the ground. I want to see more of them fall. That said, everyone is quick to the jump on the next domino to fall. It's natural. Most information surrounding balance sheets and hidden leverage in the systems is unknown. While new information developers in real time are flowing out every half hour, it seems exchanges are under the spotlight right now, and the market is watching their every move and transaction. There's likely no exchange that is going to be as egregious with client funds as FTX and Alameda were, but we don't know which exchanges can and cannot survive a bank run. As shown by market reaction, Crypto.com's Kronos token fell 55% in a week before getting some relief over the last day. There's been a parabolic trend of withdrawals, a bank run, on the exchange over the last 2 days, with the CEO doing the media rounds to assure everyone that withdrawals are processing fine and that they will survive. right? Do you really trust? FTX was trusted. Remember Mr. Wonderful going out. I love to trust Sam. His parents were were regulators. Of course I'm going to trust them. Well, that fucked up, didn't it? What were some of the other actors or sports stars? Tom Brady. We had Matt Damon. It's just a giant clusterfuck, and it's a vindication of what Bitcoiners have been saying and screaming from the rooftops. Matt Odell's famous line, "Stay humble, stack sats," and of course, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Anyways, moving on to Genesis. This is the latest thing to fall. Another one bites the dust. Genesis crypto lending unit is halting customer withdrawals in wake of FTX collapse. The lending arm of crypto investment bank Genesis Global Trading is temporarily suspending redemptions and new loan originations in the wake of FTX collapse. Interim CEO Darar Islam told customers on a call Wednesday. The unit, known as Genesis Global Capital Services, has an institutional client base and had 2.8 billion in total active loans as at the end of the third quarter of 2022. Genesis Trading, which acts as Genesis Global's capital's broker-dealer, is independently capitalized and operates separately from the lending arm. Islam said. He added that Genesis Trading and custodial services remain fully operational. It's interesting. Genesis, now this is really funny. Genesis owner Digital Currency Group is also the parent company of CoinDesk. That's right. The people that the news site that I'm getting this information from, CoinDesk, is also somehow involved in this clusterfuck contagion of these shitcoin exchanges going down. Today, Genesis Global Capital, Genesis lending businesses, made it the difficult decision to temporarily suspend redemptions and new loan originations. It's funny. Remember how I told you guys that cryptocurrency, crypto better said, is 100 times fiat? You know who also loves that word temporarily? Governments. That's exactly the word that Richard Nixon said when he took the U.S. Off the gold standard. He said, we're temporarily halting the convertibility of dollars to gold. And it's never temporary. It just never comes back. Now, what's interesting is that Genesis was the company that Gemini was using, and Gemini seems to have also gone down. I mean, specifically, better said, not their exchange, but their lending program. So Winklevi's Gemini delays withdrawals on lending program. So if you were chasing that yield, right? If you're chasing that yield, absolutely wrecked. I don't think you're going to get whatever money you had with the yield. It's still to be seen whether Gemini, the exchange, is going to go down. But I'll tell you what isn't a very good sign. If you go to the Gemini website right now, after they made that announcement, there's that word again, temporarily grounded. I'm sorry, guys. This is just... reality is stranger than fiction sometimes. Let's see if they have it back up yet. Oh, it looks like they're back up, but at the time, a couple hours ago, they were down. And apparently this had nothing to do with anything. It says we experienced an Amazon Web Services EBS outage with one of our primary databases. We have restored the databases and are bringing the exchange back up. Okay, so maybe. But I'll tell you what, guys, if you do have money on Gemini, I suggest you take some. In fact, if you have money on any custodian, I suggest you take that shit back by now. Anyways, so I keep saying that history has been repeating itself over and over again over the last 100 years. And that's exactly what's happening. So this is the Great Depression. This literally happened almost 100 years ago. And this is going to sound very familiar to you guys. Check this out. The run on America's banks began immediately following the stock market crash of 1929. Overnight, hundreds of thousands of customers began to withdraw their deposits. With no money to lend and loans going sour as businesses and farmers went belly up, the American banking crisis deepened. After taking office in March 1933, FDR did his best to shore up the flagging banking system. When a third banking panic in less than 4 years threatened, he announced a 3-day bank holiday to stop the run on banks by halting all financial transactions. It's the same story repeating itself, and when you look at it from a fundamental level, it's very simple. Stop trusting other people with your money. Because they're incentivized. If they have that big pile of cash, if they have that big pile of Bitcoin, It's pure human incentive. They're gonna think, and I don't think it's malicious. They're gonna say, you know what? I could use some of this Bitcoin to increase, to make some money for myself, and my customer wins also because I can give him some interest. And that works fine during a bull market. But during a bear market, it's a catastrophe. And this has happened recently. You don't even have to go back to 1929. Lebanese banks to shut indefinitely after flurry of holdups. Almost 100 years later, history is repeating itself once again. And why is that? Look, and it was terrible. Lebanese banks are to remain closed indefinitely due to ongoing risks to employees and customers, the Association of Lebanese Banks announced Wednesday. The shutdowns follow a series of holdups across the country over the past month, with at least 5 separate banks held up by depositors last Friday alone in an attempt to retrieve savings frozen in the banking system. Millions of Lebanese citizens have been locked out of their accounts after the country plunged into financial crisis in October 2019, with local currency since losing 90% of its value. More than 3/4 of the population have been pushed into poverty, and most are unable to pay for basic items. History is repeating itself, and I'm going to play the beginning of the clip that I played you from Michael Saylor to show you guys that you no longer have to trust third parties with your fucking money. All right.
Look, Satoshi had just a beautiful vision, a beautiful dream, and that was, what if we didn't have to trust the banks, whether it's a conventional bank or a crypto bank, and what if we didn't have to save our life savings in a fiat currency that's collapsing in value?
As we've been telling you guys, learn to take self-custody, and that requires just a little bit of personal responsibility. But you have the opportunity to not only save yourself, save your future plans, your hopes and dreams, but you also have the opportunity to save your family as well if they don't have the technical know-how to take self-custody. Be the savior. Be your own savior. Fuck this old world. You could have made an argument that this system was necessary before Bitcoin. Think about it. You store gold under your mattress, that's fine, but try transacting in gold. Are you going to have a little tiny pickaxe every time you go to CVS? Like, how much do I owe you? No, that's not going to work, right? So, and what if you're fleeing the country? If you live in a totalitarian regime, what are you going to do? You're going to hide all that in your gold teeth? I bet you if that country is really going through something crazy, you better be sure that those border guards are going to check your teeth and those other places where the sun doesn't shine, man. But everything changes when you can memorize 12 words in your head and you can store millions, billions, trillions of dollars. And you could send those anywhere without having to ask anybody for permission. But this is only possible if people use the tools of which Bitcoin gives them. And this is the lesson that is being learned today. And unfortunately, millions of people had to get wrecked for this lesson to be learned. But hopefully, a percentage of those millions of people will learn Bitcoin, not crypto. And hopefully a percentage of those people will learn as well, not your keys, not your Bitcoin. Opti?
Well, first off, you killed that, Nico. And one of the things that I was reminded of while you were talking is, guys, it's literally in the Bitcoin white paper. The fiat system runs on trust, and that trust has been abused. This is what we're doing here. And it's almost like everyone is learning or relearning the lessons to not keep more Bitcoin on exchanges than you are willing to lose. And as we watch all these dominoes fall, and the dominoes will continue to fall, it's just amazing. This FTX contagion is rippling through the Bitcoin and shitcoin space, and the bank runs that are following on the exchanges is even crazier. And we're still like in the middle of this. The more information we get from this FTX collapse coming out, the more insane this story is gonna get. And someone said in the chat, like the movie that is gonna be made to capture this moment is gonna be longer than the Lord of the Rings saga, because it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. It's gonna be an absolute epic movie. But This is why we tell you guys to not give up your Bitcoin. Don't chase the yield. Stay humble, stack sats, take your Bitcoin into self-custody, memorize those 12 to 24 words, add a password on it, get into multi-sig. Like, I know Bitcoin memes, a lot of times they get lost because people just think that they're frivolous, that they're just people having fun. But there's truth behind this stuff, and people have felt this pain before. And of course, we're hoping that everyone will learn their lessons, but as more people come into the fold, more people will have to put their hand on the stoves and more people will get wrecked. So let's just hope that we can stay, quote unquote toxic out there and be principled and tell people what we all know to be true, which is Bitcoin is the only thing that can withstand this. And the only way that you can actually opt out of the system is by holding your own keys. So just absolutely amazing. And then one little funny on this, Nico, like the Gemini stoppage. I know they said it was Amazon Web Services, but it really does feel, or at least reminds me of the infamous Coinbase always going down meme, where it's like when things start getting crazy, Coinbase is down. So, Gemini is a well-regulated and well-respected exchange. So obviously, I can only imagine that they are doing everything in their powers to ensure that their exchange sticks around. The Winklevi's seem to know what they're doing over there, at least as far as the public opinion looks like. But again, this doesn't negate the facts of what Nico and I are telling you. Take your Bitcoin off exchanges. Do not leave more Bitcoin on an exchange than you're willing to lose. Your Bitcoin should be in cold storage where it's nice and safe, and none of this can affect you.
In fact, the Bitcoin revolution, the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, is not possible unless enough individuals take back their financial sovereignty. If enough people take self-custody, we win this peaceful revolution, and there's absolutely nothing they could do about it. But it's just a matter of action, man. You have to take action here, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for your close ones. Stop trusting other people with your money, because when shit hits the fan, it's the human incentive for them to take care of themselves, save themselves. And this includes governments, by the way. Remember the passage that I read with FDR, right? There and Lebanon too, right? The governments and the banks and the founders of these shitcoin exchanges, they're going to take care of themselves before they take care of you. What situation would you rather be in? You'd rather be in a situation where you are the one taking care of himself or herself. End of rant. Wow, that got me fired up, bro. This is just the beginning. It's going to get crazy. This is the shitcoin exchange apocalypse, baby. The apocalypse. It's here. All right, culture time.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
Well, guys, I've been telling you for this whole week that we're going to have to reiterate some of the basics, a lot of the Bitcoin fundamentals, because not only is there new people into the fold, into the Bitcoin fold, and new people learning our Bitcoin mantras, but apparently people are forgetting the lessons of old. So we got this comment on our show yesterday, and as we stated on our Twitter, comment on our show today, not going to make it. What should we tell them? So we got a fan, or a listener, a viewer, and he goes, can you guys stop using the term shitcoins? You are actually hurting Bitcoin with broad, undeserved terms like that. Ethereum.
Wait, hold on. We got a comment. We got a comment. We got to address this. Lone Voice says, lol, until now you're advertising Swan. Yeah, Swan is dope. First of all, they're Bitcoin only exchange, number one. Number two, they incentivize you to take self-custody. They push it. Oh man. Yeah, no, and lone void. Absolutely. You should not trust any exchange, including Swan, with your Bitcoin. That's why you should take self-custody, right? Use these exchanges to stack sats. You could also mine Bitcoin. You could also earn Bitcoin. Anyways, I just want to clarify that. Opti.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So, as I was saying, we got this comment. Can you guys stop using the term shitcoins? You are actually hurting Bitcoin with broad, undeserved terms like that. Ethereum isn't the enemy. Traditional finance is the enemy. So we asked all you guys out there, what should we respond to him? And so I just brought up some of the good comments, and then we'll get into some of the receipts that literally got dropped yesterday as well on why you should not be trusting Ethereum and why we will use shitcoins. But before I get into it, there is one point that I understand here, to the extent that most people don't like to use cuss words, to use curse words. So on that point, I may, bend the knee a little bit. Yes, maybe we can find a better word for shitcoins, but shitcoins, it paints the perfect picture. There's Bitcoin and there's shitcoin. So first and foremost, we got Bitcoinization. He goes, lol. He thinks that traditional finance is the problem without even knowing what the problem really is. Amazing. Ben the car man, he goes, Ethereum is a recreation of the traditional finance. And I say it all the time, shitcoins are my legacy finance on the blockchain. Much innovation, much wow. They're recreating the worst of the legacy financial system on the blockchain. As you can see with FTX, it's getting atrocious out there. And I know shitcoining, it might hurt your feelings. It might hurt your feelings that we're calling a shitcoin, but Ethereum is the ultimate shitcoin. And I like BTC Padre. Of course, I am the meme lord, the resident meme lord. So we got BTC Padre and he goes, what if I told you ETH is captured through OFAC with its capture? So is every shitcoin it produces. And if you think we are just making things up, we're bringing in the receipts again. And we got this tweet by Jason Lowry, which continues to show that post-merge ETH is, this one's not even the updated one. There's one that's like 70% of ETH blocks, censoring for OFAC. So as I said it before on the show, I am very happy that ETH moved to proof of stake because it's no longer theoretical that proof of stake is going to get captured. We are seeing it in real time. And now Bitcoin is the only proof of work coin out there that is decentralized, guys. And as you guys can see, everything in shitcoin land is getting wrecked. And as my friend Kiwi Hodl, aka New Zealand Hodl, says, if you don't get it by now, I don't have time to explain it to you. And it's the Spider-Man meme where it's Ethereum's blurry, but it's really the World Economic Forum coin. And again, we're just going to keep doubling down on the memes, guys. So as you guys remember, this one goes around all the time on Twitter. It's the Star Trek meme. Are you two friends, Bitcoin and crypto? And Bitcoin goes no, and crypto and shitcoins say yes. We are not all in this together. But I will continue to go on. And we got Infopocalypse 1. He goes, Ethereum is TradFi. Same old schemes and tricks. Depositing with no ability to withdraw is the most TradFi thing ever. Ditto rolling back the blockchain and constantly changing its monetary policy. Not immutable, not decentralized, no absolute scarcity. Backed by the World Economic Forum and CBDCs. And if you don't know what he's talking about, yesterday we heard that the Ethereum Foundation eliminates the estimated withdrawal time frame for staked ETH. They are literally not even letting you withdraw your staked ETH. And Ethereum holders will have to wait for clarified information on when they can withdraw their staked ETH after eliminating the dates from the Ethereum Foundation's official website. So it's even worse than the traditional financial system. And this is why we call it a shitcoin, because as we're showing here with the office meme, there's traditional finance and then there's the Ethereum logo, and corporate needs you to find the difference between this picture and this picture, but they're the same picture, guys. Ethereum is, as Saifedean said, the mother asshole that all shit coins come from. Oh, amazing. Man. And again, we're just doubling down on the memes and just, we're making light of the whole situation, because as you guys can see out there, this whole FTX debacle, this whole DeFi shitcoin debacle.
Wait, hold on. Opti, we got some crazy live chat action.
Okay,
we got some crazy live chat action. Lone Void. I'm sorry. I'm so mad now of what is happening. I can't even make my withdrawals in Gemini. Yeah, bro. You should use Swan. Bitcoin. This doesn't happen with Bitcoin exchanges, my friend. This only happens with shitcoin exchanges, dude. Oh, man. And dude, just listen. You buy Bitcoin, you earn Bitcoin, you mine Bitcoin, and you take that Bitcoin and you immediately put it into self-custody, dude. That's what you got to do. And then you got to hide the key somewhere, forget about it, and use Bitcoin as savings, dude. Don't trade. Don't leave your Bitcoin on exchanges. It's a terrible, terrible move. It goes back to what I was saying during the news. You're trusting someone else with your wealth. You no longer have to do that, especially now that Bitcoin exists. Sorry, Opti. Sorry, I interrupted.
No worries. I mean, we've covered that so many times, and even today, you know, like we've thoroughly demolished Ethereum on this show in the past, and it's still amazing that people get their feelings hurt when we talk about shitcoins, when we talk about shitcoin exchanges, because our points get proven all the time. And Mr. Robot said it in the chat earlier, you know, the Bitcoin maxi jar is full always, because it's a very simple mantras that we have out here as Bitcoiners. And it's just stay humble, stack sats, provide the value, put your Bitcoin into cold storage, and do something of value, or rather, you know, go enjoy life. And Bitcoin will be here for you when you need it. But again, let me finish some of these memes here and some of the comments here. And we got Matthias, Ghost of Matthias too. And I really love this meme because it's pretty fitting today. And we got the worn down NPC, and he goes, "Stop giving me your toughest battles." And we got Jesus, and he goes, "Bro, just sell your shit coins and buy Bitcoin." It's really this simple, guys. Do not get caught up in the greed of chasing shitcoin gains, because this is the risk that shitcoiners do not tell you. This is the risk that crypto influencers do not show you. This is what we tell you all the time. You are the yield, guys, and you're better off just staying humble and taking your Bitcoin into cold storage, because when all these black swan events happen, and they will happen, your Bitcoin in cold storage is safe and sound and sleeping tightly, waiting for you, storing value for you when you need it. But shouts out to DJ Booth 007. He goes, "Bitcoin is a breath of fresh air while everything else stinks. So the term shitcoin is entirely deserved." Amazing. And, you know, they're going to dunk a little bit. Tell him we're not in this together, and go get wrecked, guys. So to sum it up, as Warren Davidson said, there's Bitcoin and there is shitcoin. And the longer that we stay in this bear market right now, the longer that Ethereum halts withdrawals, the longer that all the shitcoins built on top of Ethereum start to blow up one by one, you will know that there is Bitcoin and there is shitcoin. So yes, there is a problem and a real enemy in traditional finance, but Ethereum may even be a bigger enemy, because it's obfuscating what we're doing here in Bitcoin. It is recreating the worst of the worst on the traditional finance system on my blockchain, and it's marketing itself as better than Bitcoin, and it's getting people wrecked, and they will continue to get people wrecked, and it's only a matter of time until Ethereum blows up in everyone's face. But hey, you know, they got the World Economic Forum backing it. So who knows how long they can keep that charade going. But for you, the average Bitcoiner out there, the listener Simply Bitcoin, continue to use the word shitcoin. Continue to separate Bitcoin from crypto, Bitcoin from shitcoins, because they are not the same. There's one true decentralized coin. There's one truly distributed coin out there, and it is Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is unstoppable, and it's got the longest track history, and you're just better off to save in Bitcoin, guys. You can avoid all this madness that we're seeing right now. If more people just take Bitcoin into self-custody, if more people spread the message that there is Bitcoin and there is shitcoin. Anyways, Nico, rant over. Let's.
Could you leave the original comment on so that we can just riff on it
all
like
right,
that?
I got you. 1 second. 1 second.
Hold on, let me play. While you pull it up. Okay, it's up. Okay, here we go. Shitcoin Armageddon. Yeah, dude, look, we've been getting these comments so much, man. At the end of the day, look, Ethereum is highly centralized. We know for a fact that the majority of Ethereum validators right now are actively censoring for the United States government. Dude, like you're holding a Fed coin. I don't even know what to call it. Like it's not me saying that. Like we always bring the receipts on Simply Bitcoin. These are the majority of Ethereum validators right now. 73% are enforcing OFAC sanctions. OFAC stands for the Office of Foreign Asset Control. It's a part of the U.S. Treasury, right? So yeah, this is what you're getting with Ethereum. You also don't know what the supply is. You can't validate that yourself, man. You know, this thing is completely controlled by Vitalik. They've had rollbacks before. So yeah, if your money's in Ethereum, you're really in the hands of Vitalik. You know, you're trusting someone else. Like I keep saying that. In Bitcoin, you're not trusting anybody. There's no, it's trust minimized, you could say. Right? Stop trusting other people with your money. Bad things happen when that happens, man. So yeah, dude, you go suit yourself, you know, park your money and shit, park your wealth and shit. And then when these things keep on happening, I promise you're going to remember what the maxis have been saying. And most likely you will become a Bitcoin maxi yourself.
Just
right. Like
Nico, these people just got to ask themselves one simple question. If it's not decentralized, if it's not censorship resistant, what is the point of this all? And as Nico just explained again, they're censoring for OFAC, and you got to trust Vitalik and the Ethereum Foundation, or, you know, the corporation on all these other shitcoins. Guys, it's very simple. There's Bitcoin and there's shitcoins. And it's, you just abide by the natural laws of what's going on over here.
Amen to that. All right, let's get to the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboomracks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboomracks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboomracks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboomracks. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, this is right now. We are entering one of the biggest opportunities to get into Bitcoin mining. The reason I know that is that 2018, we saw a similar bloodbath. And yes, it's not very profitable, but this is the best time to get into Bitcoin mining. And if you're looking to buy a Bitcoin miner, definitely go check out our friends at Kaboomracks. They're awesome. All you got to do is join their Telegram group. It's completely free. Anyway, no, Opti, why are we reviewing my own meme?
I had to, because you
Doesn't that break the rules?
Dude, it's because you don't make memes, and it's a good meme. But anyways, guys, you know the score here. This is the meme review. Tweets are the bullets, and memes are the artillery. And we are in an information war, and as you can tell out there in Bitcoin land, we still have to get the message out there. We have to continue to reiterate the basics because people still don't understand what we understand, which is there's Bitcoin. Hold on, I actually have it right here.
What's the second best? There is no second best.
There's Bitcoin and there's shitcoins. Take your Bitcoin into self-custody. But of course, this is a meme review score. So by the end of this meme review score, drop your meme review score in the chat and we will cover it. Anyways, as I told you guys, Nico showed me this. Actually, I was kind of teasing him earlier. I was like, oh wow, Nico, look, you made a meme today. I'm gonna add it to the meme review score. So we got a clip that Nico clipped out, and it's from There Will Be Blood, and I forget what this guy's name is, but
Daniel Plainview.
Daniel Plainview. See, this is why I had to get it, Nico. Daniel Plainview sitting there on his chair as a Bitcoiner, relishing.
If you don't take self custody, they'll drink your milkshake. They'll drink it all up. It's all gone.
Exactly, and it's shitcoin exchanges going up in flames. This is where we're at right now, guys. Absolutely amazing. Again, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to reiterate this, but take your Bitcoin into cold storage. There's a bunch of good wallets out there. Maybe I'll have to do that one culture where I just name down every wallet that we like again, but we're in the meme review score. So this next one is by At the Free Thought Project. And he goes, a century later, and most still don't know. So the meme is a picture of SBF, and he goes, if you think the FTX Ponzi scheme was bad, wait until you hear about Jekyll Island in 1913. Oof, that one hit. That one hit right there. This next one is by our friend at 21JCLP, and he goes, good morning. Bitcoin breaks the chains of slavery. And we got this picture, this very artistic picture of Bitcoin with a fist breaking the chain of slavery. And Nico, we had another Nico on the show last night, and he said something very interesting that I think we say all the time. And he said, of course I'm gonna butcher the saying, but he said something on the lines of, if the Marxists really believed what they believe of giving power to the people, then they would be Bitcoiners, because Bitcoin is the only currency that gives power to the people. So I really like this play kind of on that message. Anyways, this next one is by Maxie's Club, and he goes 215 pairs. And I know this is going to be all of us on Thanksgiving, but just on that point, we got a girl, a pink Pepe frog girl. She's holding some Sats coins. And he goes, I'm sorry for talking to you about Bitcoin properties 24/7s, but I have a gift for you. And the girl goes, a pair? And he goes, pair to pair. Really bad dad joke, but I liked it anyways. All right, this next one, shouts out to our friend Andres, aka Sons of Sats. And this morning on Nico's post, where he's shows that Genesis crypto lending unit halts withdrawals, Nico goes, another one bites the dust, and Andres makes this meme where this is really bad. This is obviously not OSHA approved, but we got a guy standing on a ladder over the edge, and the guy over the edge is you, and he's fixing his air conditioning, and the air conditioning is your coins, and his friends are leveraging the ladder so he doesn't fall off the edge, and it's his centralized exchanges. This is what we're telling you guys all the time. Do not keep Bitcoin on an exchange, because it's not your Bitcoin, and you might get wrecked when the exchanges take their foot off the ladder. Anyways, as we've been saying, and we kind of covered this on the culture, and this is why I wanted to bring this one up in the memes. We got Vandalay, and he goes, Ethereum is next. Doubt it all you want. It's coming. And we got John Steph 81 with the infamous Reaper meme. And we got, the first is Do Kwon, the bloody door. The next is SBF with the bloody door. And the soon to be bloody door of Vitalik. Don't get wrecked in shitcoin land. It's bound to happen. The shoe will drop, and Ethereum will get wrecked eventually. And then this morning, we got tagged by our friend Mr. Robot, and I really like this picture. And he says, Simply Bitcoin TV, Bitcoin Art, Mid-Journey V4, version 4. And as you can see, someone's studio. I'm guessing this is Mr. Robot studio, and he's got Nico and I on the map, and it's got Simply Bitcoin on the screen. And this is the podcast studio, the futuristic podcast studio. So absolutely love that. Thank you for that, Mr. Robot. We appreciate all the love.
Guys, this is Simply Bitcoin Live. Put your score in the live chat, and Opti and I will read as much as possible before the buzzer beeps. Opti, I'm gonna beat you to it. A bag of Chipotle chips.
Are those seed oil free?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what Chipotle does. Anyways,
definitely not seed oil free.
Definitely not seed oil free.
Okay.
Ugh,
Okay.
Shame on Nico. All right, Opti. What would you give those memes?
All right, guys. So we did just come back from Pacific Bitcoin Conference, and I got these real cool Pacific Bitcoin trading cards, and you can see this one is, you can't read it. It's taxation is theft. Let me see if I can get this to mirror for you guys so you guys can see it. Really cool.
Amazing.
Really cool trading cards. I got a few over here, so you guys might know where my meme review scores will come from for a while. Anyways.
All right. We got the first one from Bitcoin Becca. I give those memes the latest edition of BT Weekly, hot off the printing press.
Nice.
All right, shilling your own stuff in our chat. Great.
No shame.
Victor
No
Salazar.
shame.
I rate those memes my BlockFi credit card. What? Victor, you're in the wrong show, buddy. You're in the wrong show. No. That was the worst score I've ever heard. Rope, rating those memes, Opti's 21-inch forehead.
Well, I get roasted yesterday for balding, and now I get roasted for my 21-inch forehead. Hey, this is
Mr.
the way.
Robot. Mr. Robot, rate those memes. One peer-to-peer RoboSats transaction. Very nice, very clever. Bitcoin for Canadians. I score the memes. The final bowling alley scene from There Will Be Blood. Ooh,
I will drink your milkshake, bro.
okay. I really recommend that movie. It's fucking awesome.
Yes.
All right. You Deserve Real Money says, I rate those memes one sausage egg fry up. Okay. Next one, we got Brandon. I give those memes a fresh 40-pound box of security envelopes. Oh, Mayura asks, when and where will be the next Bitcoin? The next specific Bitcoin will be in September. Guys, don't want to miss it. Best Bitcoin, one of the best Bitcoin conference I've ever been to.
I think the question though is where will be the next Bitcoin conference? I think that's Bitcoin Boom, right? Or is it Bitcoin Mag?
It's Bitcoin. It's the Bitcoin Mag Bitcoin conference. I think it's in April or May in Miami. We'll let you guys know. Brandon says, I give those memes.
You did that one.
Okay. Opti's neglected special co-host Mama Opti. Mama Opti reviewing her experience with Black Box. I can't find Brandon. Where'd he go? Okay. Diogenes, Bitcoin. No more score. Oh, one more score. I rate those memes. The liquid network water bottle I got at TAB conference. Awesome. Last one before the buzzer. I rate those meme boosts on fountain. All right. Awesome scores for some awesome memes. Guys, I also want to give a shout out to Simply Bitcoin's Telegram group. You got to go to www.t.me/the Simply Bitcoin channel. Also, join our Substack. You got to go to www.simplybitcoin.news. It is the written version of Simply Bitcoin. Shout out to our awesome writers, Paul, Zach, Weinicus, Rustin. Don't want to miss that sauce. But anyways, Opti, we have a Pleb site today. Let's check it out.
Pleb Sites.
Brought to you by CypherSafe. Don't be that person that loses their Bitcoin seed due to fire damage, water damage, dog attacks. Back up your generational Bitcoin wealth on steel. And there's no better place to do it than the Cypher Grid by CypherSafe. And now check out their new Bitcoin art, the Bitcoin Rulux triangle, only on CypherSafe.io.
All right, guys.
All right.
So today we have a site by a Bitcoiner. This is really cool. It's called wallet.build. So I know you guys know that Jack Dorsey is making a Bitcoin wallet out there, but go check out this website of theirs, and there's all kinds of sources and articles about, you know, what they're doing, why they chose it, what you need to know about Bitcoin wallets. I think this is a really great resource, and you can see their
updates. It's all their updates too.
Yeah, and you can see an insight into everything they're doing on with wallet. And I think there was some cool, maybe I can't find it right now, but there was some visuals over here, or maybe it was another part of Twitter. But anyways, go check out wallet.build and see and get a little FOMO on what's going on with Jack Dorsey's Bitcoin wallet out there.
Very, very dope. I also want to give a shout out to our awesome clothing sponsor. They just dropped the Simply Bitcoin merch. Opti, show off the back. I'll show off. It's dope. It's dope. It's the peaceful revolution. There's a giant ass tank. They're exclusively Simply Bitcoin merch. There's only so many. So when they run out, you won't be able to get more. And you can take advantage of the promo code Simply-Bitcoin to get a 10% discount, anything off the representltd.com store. Get your Simply Bitcoin merch today. It's camo, the simple black with the logo. It's freaking awesome. Anyways, guys, we love you all. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. I'm your host, Nico. This is my co-host, Opti. It really helps if you hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel we provided you value. And the number one thing you could do to push this peaceful revolution forward is share this content. In fact, share all Bitcoin content. Teach your family, teach your friends how to take self-custody. If enough people do it, that's how we win this thing. The party will continue all the way till 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show will become an interactive show on Twitter Spaces, which we co-host with our friends over at Swan Bitcoin. Shout out to producer Jacob as well. Guys, we love you all, and we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.
Let's go. All right, guys. Well. As you guys can see,